Hello friends, welcome back to Jack in the Books, welcome back to my second channel. I have a confession. And that confession is that I am a big fat stinking liar. Liar, liar, pants on fire. And the reason for this is that the first video I ever made on this channel was a video where I tested my knowledge of English literature. Basically to see if my 3-year degree was worth the time and the money. And at the end of this video, I said, part 2 is coming. And 6 months have passed. The video hasn't come, and that's because I didn't film it. I haven't even thought about it until today, when a lovely viewer called Rebecca, hi Rebecca, this video is your fault, DM'd me saying, I noticed that you never did a part 2 to this video, so I have created a quiz for you. And so, Rebecca, I'm gonna take your damn quiz and see how I do. So, the aim of the game is to see if I can name what book these iconic opening lines are from. I assume they're gonna be classics. I'm praying that there'll be books that I've read. And if this video has made it to your subscription box or your YouTube homepage, then that means I didn't get 0. Because I would be running. I would be fleeing the country if I got 0 on this quiz. Not because I think everyone should know these things, but because I specifically have crafted a whole personality around niche knowledge of books. So if I got 0 on this quiz, that's the whole career over. I'm nervous, because I feel like I'm gonna lose my job. Anyway, without further ado and further stalling, we are going to take on this quiz. And you can play along at home if you want, bit of organised fun. But number 1 is Call Me Ishmael. Okay, Call Me Ishmael, I do know this one. This is from Moby Dick. I'm like 95% sure. Moby Dick is a book about whaling, but it's also a whale of a book. She's huge and she's filled with so many details about whales that I don't think I ever needed to know. Although the one way that I flex that I have read Moby Dick is by telling everyone I know that Starbucks, the coffee chain, is named after a character in Moby Dick. And the answer is Moby Dick, yes! And it's time to move on to question number 2. Oh, this is my favorite opening line of any book ever, and I return to this regularly. So this is, it was a queer, sultry summer, the summer they electrocuted the Rosenbergs, and I didn't know what I was doing in New York. This is the opening line to The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I think this is, in my humble opinion, the best opening line to a book of all time. And I'm not sorry about it. And the answer is The Bell Jar. Yes. Next one. It was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. Oh, hell. I think this is... It's gonna be so stupid when I edit this back and I know that I'm wrong. I think it's George Orwell. And it's not the opening line to Animal Farm, so I'm gonna go with 1984. I think that might be right, you know. I want to be something completely different. I don't know, it's giving me 1984. I'm sure that's the first line of 1984. And the answer is 1984! Yes! It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. This is definitely either Jane Eyre or Pride and Prejudice. Or Sense and Sensibility. I think this is Pride and Prejudice, right? This is like such an iconic line that I feel like getting it wrong would not be good for me. So let's have a look at the answer. Pride and Prejudice. Win. A win for old Jack. Okay, next one. I write this sitting in the kitchen sink. I don't know who this man is. He could be walking down the street, I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this line. Sorry to this book. I genuinely have no idea. I write this sitting in the kitchen sink. I can't think of that many books that I've read where the protagonist could fit in the kitchen sink. It's not Animal Farm because that's not written in the first person. It's not Charlotte's Web. I genuinely, I don't know. I Capture the Castle. Well, that does make sense because I have not read that book. But look, we learned something today. And the next question is, the sweat was lashing Ofe, sick boy, he was trembling. I think every Scottish person who saw me read that just vomited in their mouth. The sweat was lashing off a sick boy, he was trembling. That's as good as we're gonna get. I'm really sorry if that's like cultural appropriation. That is Trainspotting by Irvine Welsh. Irvine Walsh? Irvine Walsh? Welsh, it is Welsh. And yes, that's correct. Irvine Welsh, and the only thing that isn't Scottish about this man is his surname. Next one, number 7, okay. The snow in the mountains was melting, and Bunny had been dead for several weeks before we came to understand the gravity of our situation. What book is about Bunny? I know this. It's like, it's in there. The Secret History. The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I'm sure of it. Yeah, for sure. Bunny gets murdered. There's a character called Bunny. Answer is Secret History. Bam. Mother died today, or maybe yesterday. I can't be sure. This is a book that I have made a video on in my BTS book video, recommended by Namjoon, and it is The Stranger / The Outsider by Albert Camus. This book has 2 different names. Some people call it The Stranger, some people call it The Outsider. I think it's because it's originally written in French, and so it's been like translated, and so people interpret the title as 2 different things maybe. But I'm 100% certain that is The Stranger / The Outsider. I think this is a perfect opening line to a book. It's shocking. It's like a weird juxtaposition of theme and tone, because it's so nonchalant about something that is actually so, heart-wrenching and shocking. So, yeah, love that. Answer is The Stranger! Yes! Okay, cool. This video can make it onto the internet. Squire Trelawney, Dr. Livesey, and the rest of these gentlemen, having asked me to write down the whole particulars about Treasure Island, from the beginning to the end, keeping nothing but... This must be about Treasure Island, right? And that only because there is still treasure not yet lifted, I take out my pen in the year of grace 17-something and go back to the time when my father kept the Admiral Benbow Inn, and the brown old seaman with the sabre cut first took up his lodging under our roof. Jesus Christ, that's a long opening sentence. No wonder I haven't read that book. That's gotta be Treasure Island, it's in the title. Yeah, okay. Treasure Island, okay. If anyone's playing along at home, I hope you got that one. You better not never tell nobody but God, it'd kill your mammy. Shit. I want to say To Kill a Mockingbird, but I don't think that's right. Maybe Beloved by Toni Morrison? I can't think how that starts. Or like... Yeah, I'm not sure on this. I'm gonna go with Beloved. Am I? No. Yes. No. Yes. I'm going with Beloved, but I'm not certain about it. The answer is... The Colour Purple by Alice Walker. Now that does make sense. Okay, that's 2 wrong. We've gotta win this back, guys. As Gregor Samsa awoke one morning from uneasy dreams, he found himself transformed in his bed into a gigantic insect. We have also covered this on the channel. This is a good one. It's got the character name and basically the whole plot of the book in that opening line. And this is The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. Yeah, okay, cool. I still check the answers just in case, because I never back any answer I give fully. 124 was spiteful, full of baby's venom. 124 was spiteful, full of baby's venom. 124 was spiteful, full of baby's venom. I'm like, maybe if I just keep repeating it, it will start to make sense. I am drawing a blank. There's no thoughts, just vibes. I don't know. Full of baby's venom. Oh wait, isn't a character from Beloved called Baby? Is that right? Oh, I genuinely don't know. Okay, let's look. Oh my god, it was Beloved! Can I have that? Can I have that one? I make the rules here. I'm having that one. And I don't care what you say. I'm having that point. Hale knew before he had been in Brighton 3 hours that they meant to murder him. Oh my gosh. Okay, that is probably my second favourite opening line of all time after The Bell Jar. This is from Brighton Rock by Graham Greene. Obviously Brighton is in the title. Hale is one of the characters. This book I read when I was working in China as an English teacher, and I was there for a month. And Brighton is where I grew up, and where it was like my stomping ground when I was a kid, or when I was younger. So reading that book when I was away from home, and it was so nice to have that little taste of home and, you know, be reading this book and recognize the streets that they were walking down. And I think that you don't necessarily have to know a city well to appreciate the descriptions of it, but when you do know a city well and you read a piece of literature that is talking about that city, it just is so elevated because you can literally imagine the exact routes they're taking. It feels so much more vivid and real. I felt similarly with Loveless by Alice Oseman because it's set in Durham, which is where I went to university. And, you know, anyone could read that book and it makes perfect sense, you know, them talking about walking down the road and stuff like that. But because it names the specific street, I know exactly what route they're taking and where they're going to and from. And it makes it such a special reading experience. So I have a very special place in my heart for Brighton Rock. It's kind of like Peaky Blinders vibes. I think it would be a great TV show. Anyway, moving on. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light, it was the season of darkness. It was the season of hope, it was the winter of despair. We had everything before us, we had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven, we were all going direct the other way. That is A Tale of Two Cities. Listen, that's a great opening line. That is a corker. That's a banger. I'm not a Charles Dickens fan, and I really hated reading this book. I found it so laborious and I just didn't enjoy it. But that opening line, chef kiss, divine. And yeah, that is A Tale of Two Cities. Okay, final one. Number 15. In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since. This is on the tip of my tongue. Oh my god, what is that bastard book called? The Great Gatsby. That's The Great Gatsby. This is Nick Carraway talking in The Great Gatsby. So, how did you do? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you got 15 out of 15, I will be so impressed. I think, did I get 13 or 12? I mean, I'm just gonna round up and say 13, regardless. And you know what? In an English Lit degree, you need 70% to get a first. So what was that? What's 13 or 15? Well, you can tell I didn't do maths. That's 86%. That is higher than any grade I ever got in my actual degree. So I'm glad that we are excelling now. All the best, stay in touch, subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you very soon. Bye-bye!